So do you also use Razorpay to sell your products online? Then this video is definitely for you. So hello all, welcome back to Pabbly Connect, and in this video we are going to understand how to add failed Razorpay payment details in Google Sheets automatically. So over here I'm running an organic skincare brand and we use Razorpay to sell our products online. And now what I want is that as soon as a new payment field is made in my Razorpay account, automatically the details of the same should be added to my Google Sheets. So to do this, we are going to create a connection between Razorpay and Google Sheets. To create this connection without knowing any programming or coding language, we are going to use Pabbly Connect. It is an amazing automation software. So do you also wish to learn this process step by step? Then let me take you to my computer screen. Welcome to my screen everyone. So as you know, in this tutorial I'll show you how to automatically log failed Razorpay payment details into Google Sheets. This integration helps us to keep a track of all the failed transactions effortlessly, ensuring we can follow up with the customers, analyze payment issues and improve our processes. So let's get started with a really simple example. So as you can see that this is the product I'm selling with the help of Razorpay. So let's say I'm just going to purchase this product right over here. So I'm just going to enter my details and purchase this product right over here. I'm going to enter the card details and we're going to purchase this product right over here. So yes, as we're going to purchase this product, I've used a card which is not supported right over here. So what will happen is that my payment will get failed, and yes, you can see payment could not be completed. International cards are not supported. So yes, the international cards are not supported. That's why my payment got failed right over here. So now what has happened is that the details of this failed payment have been added to my Google Sheets automatically. So I'm going to open my Google Sheets, and yes, you can see the details have been added. You can see the name, the email, the phone number which we entered, the payment method and the reason, which is international transaction not allowed. So yes, with this we have got the details right over here in our Google Sheets. So do you also wish to learn this process step by step and get all the failed payment details into your Google Sheets? Then you have to watch this tutorial till the end. So in order to create this integration, what I have done is I've created a connection between Razorpay and Google Sheets, right? And in order to create this connection, we have used Pabbly Connect. It is an amazing automation software. So in order to start with this, I've simply opened the landing page of Pabbly by searching pabbly.com/connect in my browser. It is very easy. As soon as we're going to open the landing page of Pabbly, we are going to get two options. One is sign in and the other one is sign up for free. So if you're a new user, you can click on sign up for free and you're going to get 100 of tasks free every month to explore the application. But over here, I'm an existing user, so I'm going to click on sign in. And as soon as I'm going to click on sign in, it is opening all Pabbly apps. Over here, you can see all the tools and applications offered by Pabbly. But in today's video, we are going to use Pabbly Connect because we are connecting different applications, which is Google Sheets and Razorpay. So I'm going to click on access now right over here to access my Pabbly Connect account. And as soon as we're going to click on access now, it is opening my dashboard. And to start with this automation, we are going to click on this button which says create workflow. And now it is asking me for the workflow name and the folder I want to save the workflow in. So over here I want to save the workflow in this folder which says automations, and I want to name my workflow as this, which says how to add failed Razorpay payment details in Google Sheets automatically. Razorpay to Google Sheets, and then we are going to click on create. And as soon as we are going to click on create, it is opening the most important window for automation, which is our workflow window. So this is the most important window because we have triggered an action, and this trigger means when this happens and action means do this. So by this you can understand that the trigger is the commander for the workflow and actions follow the commands. And as you know that we can have only a single commander but multiple followers. So here we can have only a single trigger but multiple actions following the commands of our trigger. So by this you can finally understand that the actions are response towards the commands given by our trigger. And in order to start with our automation, we have to select our trigger application. So for my trigger application, I'm going to select it as Razorpay right over here. And as you can see, Razorpay, so we are going to select it. And as I was going to select the trigger application, it is asking me for the trigger event. So basically, trigger event is the event on which the workflow will start. So here what I want is that as soon as a failed Razorpay payment is captured, my workflow should be started, right? So for the trigger event, I'm going to select it as payment failed. Over here, you can see the same. So I'm just going to select it. And as soon as we're going to select the trigger event, it is giving me a webhook URL. So we're going to use this same webhook URL in order to create a connection between our Razorpay account and our Pabbly Connect's workflow. So what we have to do is first we're going to copy this webhook URL and then we're going to follow this help text, and it is saying log into your Razorpay account and navigate to the webhook section available under the settings. Click on add new webhook, copy paste the webhook URL. Okay, so I'm just going to follow the same. I'm going to open my Razorpay account, and after opening this account from the left side of the bar, we have to go on developers, and as you can see the same, so we have to go on this, and then as you can see webhooks, and after coming on to webhooks we have to click on this button which says add new webhook, and now it is asking me for the webhook URL. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to paste the URL which we copied from our workflow right over here in the webhook URL field. It is saying secret, so if you wish you can definitely add a secret right over here, but I don't wish to add, so I'm going to leave it as blank. It is saying alert email over here. You can see the alert email. We are going to move on forward. You can see it is asking me for the active events. So what it is saying right over here is select payment failed from the active events section. Okay, so I'm going to select the same right over here which is payment failed, and after selecting this we are going to click on this button which says create webhook, and as soon as we're going to click on this button, yes, you can see webhook saved successfully. So yes, with this we have successfully added this webhook URL into our Razorpay account, and with this we have successfully created a connection between our Razorpay account and our Pabbly Connect's workflow. But over here you can see that it is saying waiting for a webhook response, and in the notes it is saying do a test submission / record right over here you can see. So what we have to do is that in order to capture this webhook response we have to do a test submission or record. So what we have to do is I'm going to open my Razorpay account, open the product I'm going to sell, and we're going to do a failed payment for that product, right, so that we can test our connection right over here. So I'm just going to open this product, and as you can see that this is the product I'm going to sell right over here. Okay, so I'm going to refresh this so that we can enter the new details. So for the name I'm going to keep it as demo user, email as demouser@pabblytudes.com, and this as the phone number, and then we're going to click on this button which says pay 499, and as soon as we're going to click on this button it is asking me for the payment method. Once again I'm going to select the method as cards. We're going to enter the card number right over here and all the details and click on continue, and as soon as we're going to click on continue it is saying processing your payments. We're going to wait for a few seconds, and as soon as we're going to wait for a few seconds you can see payment could not be completed. International cards are not supported. So yes, you can see once again the payment got failed right over here, right? And now what has happened is that Razorpay has sent the details of our test submission to our workflow. Pabbly captured the response and triggered this workflow. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to open my workflow and check that if Pabbly has captured the response for these details or not. And yes, you can see that Pabbly has captured the response. You can see the name which we entered, you can see the phone number, you can see the email, the method, and over here you can see the payment status, right? Also over here you can notice that we got the reason of the payment failure too, which is international transaction not allowed it. So yes, with this we have successfully completed our trigger step, and now what will happen is that as soon as a new payment is failed in my Razorpay, automatically my workflow would be triggered. Okay, so now further what I want is I want to add the payment failed details into Google Sheets, right? But over here you can see that on my Razorpay account I have multiple payment pages and multiple payment links, but I only want to create this automation for a single product which is organic glow serum. So what we're going to do is I'm going to set up a filter right over here in my workflow so that we can create this automation only for a single product right over here. So for the action application I'm going to select it as filter by Pabbly. It is a feature by Pabbly which helps you to add filter conditions in your workflows. And now for the action event we are going to select it as filter values, and we are going to click on connect, and now it is asking me for the label. So here for the label I'm going to select it as amount because we haven't received the product name. Okay, so you must notice that the amount is 49900, but you must be wondering that the amount was 499.00 right over here, right? But over here what happens is that while capturing the response it eliminates the decimal value. That's why it is showing 49900 right over here. Okay, so I'm just going to select this only as my amount. Okay, now for the filter type we are going to select it as equals to, and then for the value we have to enter 49900 only. And after adding all of this we are going to click on save and send test request, and as soon as we're going to do so, what will happen is that if the product is purchased of the amount 49900, which is 499.00, then only this workflow will move on further from this action step, right? And over here the product which is organic glow serum is purchased for 499 only, so that's why we added this filter condition right over here. Now we're going to add another action step where we want is that we want to add the field payment details right over here in my sheets, right? So for the action application I'm going to select it as Google Sheets. So I'm going to search for Google Sheets, and as you can see the same, so we're going to select it. And now for the action event we are going to select it as add new row and click on connect, and as soon as we're going to click on connect it is asking me to add a new connection or select an existing connection. So if you have already connected your Google Sheets account with your Pabbly's workflow, you can click on select existing connection and then save. But if you haven't, you have to follow me, click on add a new connection, and then you have to click on this button which says sign in with Google. So I'm just going to click on this button right over here, And as soon as we're going to click on this button, it is going to ask me to select my Gmail account. And after selecting my Gmail account, it is asking me for some permissions. So what we're going to do is I'm going to click on allow and give Pabbly all the permissions it is asking for, because my data is secure with Pabbly. You can also click on allow. Pabbly is safe. And as soon as we're going to click on allow, you can see authorization successful. So yes, with this we have successfully connected our Google Sheets account with our Pabbly's workflow. And now it is asking me to select the spreadsheet. So here I want to create this automation for this spreadsheet, which is failed Razorpay payments. So I'm going to select the same right over here, which is failed Razorpay payments. And as soon as I'm going to select the spreadsheet, it is going to ask me to select the sheet. So here you can see that in my spreadsheet I have this sheet, which is sheet 1. So I'm just going to select the same. We're going to move on forward. It is asking me for the name, email, phone, payment method, and reason. So yes, you can see that these are the same details which we have entered right over here in the columns of our Google Sheets, right? So yes, we're going to enter the details right over here one by one, but we are not going to enter the details manually or by copy pasting it, but instead we are going to map it. So you must be wondering, what is mapping? So mapping is a method by Pabbly which means inserting the data from the previous step. And as you know, our previous step was the trigger step, where we select to Razorpay as a trigger application. So we're going to map the details from the response of our trigger application, which is Razorpay, right over here only. And as soon as we're going to map these details, automatically my details will turn dynamic and change with every new response received. So over here I'm going to give you an example that over here it is asking me for the name. So let's suppose I'm going to enter the name right over here by manually typing it like this. Then this will not change with every new response received, because this is a static information and I've entered it manually. But if you're going to map this from the previous response, suppose I'm going to put my response, and as you can see the name. So let's suppose we're going to map this from the previous response, then this will definitely change because my previous response will also change. So that's why we do mapping right over here to run our workflow in real time. And as we map the name, we are going to map the email too. I'm going to look for email in the previous response, and as you can see the same, so we're going to map it. And after mapping this, we are going to move on forward. We are going to map the phone number. I'm going to look for phone number, and as you can see the same, so we're going to map it. Over here we are going to map the payment method. I'm going to look for payment method. You can see cards, so we're going to map it, and now it is asking me for the reason. Okay, so we have the reason too, and as you can see the same, so we're going to map it. And after mapping all of these details, I'm going to click on this button which says save and send test request. And as soon as we're going to click on this button, yes, you can see that we have successfully received a positive response that we have added these details into our Google Sheets. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my Google Sheets and check for the details added. And yes, you can see the details have been added into my Google Sheets. You can see the same name, email, phone, card, which is the payment method, and the reason right over here which we entered in our workflow. So yes, with this we have successfully completed our workflow, but I'll just test this workflow once, and this time I'm going to give you a real-time example. So what we're going to do is I'm going to put my product again, and we're going to do another test submission with the new details so that we can test that if our workflow is running in real time or not. Okay, so I'm just going to refresh this page, and we're going to do the test submission with the new details. So for the name, I'm going to keep it as test user, email as this. For the phone number, we are going to keep it as this, and then we're going to click on pay 499. And once again, for the payment method, I'm going to select it as cards. We are going to enter the card details and click on continue. And as soon as we're going to click on continue, right away it is saying processing your payment. We are going to wait for a few seconds, and yes, you can see payment could not be completed. And now what has happened is that Razorpay has sent the details of our test submission to our workflow. Pabbly captured the response, triggered the workflow, and further added the failed payment details into our Google Sheets. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open my Google Sheets and check for the new details added. And this time we are not going back to our workflow and clicking on save and send test requests. I'll directly open my Google Sheets right from here, and yes, you can see the details added. You can see the same name, email, the phone number, and the payment method entered. So yes, with this we have successfully completed our workflow, and now what will happen is that as soon as a new payment field is made on my Razorpay for a particular product, automatically the details would be added in my Google Sheets without any manual efforts. So yes, with this we have successfully completed our workflow, and now I'll just summarize this workflow for you once. So for the trigger application, we selected Razorpay. Then for the trigger event, we selected payment failed. For the action application, we selected filter by Pabbly and Google Sheets. Okay, so yes, this was it for the video, and if you have any questions related to the video or the workflow, you can directly comment on this video. And for your reference, I'll just clone this workflow and share the workflow link in the description box so that you can access my workflow. I hope this video was helpful for you. Thank you for watching. So not only these applications, but with the help of Pabbly Connect, you can integrate many more applications. So if you have any doubts, you can reach us at support@pabbly.com. If you have any queries, you can reach us at forum.pabbly.com. And if you have any pricing related issues, you can follow this website. And if you find our videos helpful, do like and subscribe our channel. Thank you for watching.